He's not husband material. He's a time pass, she told her coworkers, thinking I couldn't hear. I paid my bill, saved the recording, and left. At dinner with her parents, I played it. Her mom asked, "So who's your real husband material?" Her face was, "I, 28, male, never thought 3 words would end a relationship I'd invested 2 years building. Time pass." That's what Jacqueline, 26, called me to her coworkers at a cafe downtown. Not boyfriend, not partner, just time pass. A placeholder. A warm body until someone better showed up. The worst part? She thought I couldn't hear. I was sitting 2 tables behind her, laptop open, working on a client proposal. She didn't know I'd walked into the same cafe. Didn't see me tucked in the corner booth. Her voice carried over the afternoon chatter, confident and careless. "He's not husband material, he's a time pass," she said, laughing with her work friends. I didn't storm over. Didn't cause a scene. I opened my phone's voice recorder, set it on the table, and let it run. 5 minutes of her explaining why I was good enough for now, but not the kind of guy you take home forever. How she was keeping her options open. How I was sweet but not ambitious enough. When she finished her coffee, I paid my bill, pocketed my phone, and walked out. She texted me 20 minutes later. "Coffee at yours tonight? Miss you." I replied, "Sure. Dinner with your parents this weekend, right?" "Yes. Saturday at 7. Can't wait for you to meet them properly." Neither could I. Jacqueline and I had been together for 2 years. We met through a mutual friend at a birthday party in 2023. She worked in marketing at a tech firm. I ran a small consulting business, freelance mostly, helping startups with financial planning. Not flashy work, but steady. I made decent money, lived in a clean apartment, had my life together. Over those 2 years, I showed up. When her car broke down at midnight, I drove across town to pick her up. When she needed help moving apartments, I rented a truck and spent my Saturday hauling boxes. When her brother's wedding came up, I took 2 days off work, bought a new suit, and smiled through ceremonies I didn't understand. I thought we were building something. But there were signs. Small ones. The kind you ignore because acknowledging them means admitting you're wasting your time. She never posted about me on social media. Not once. I'd see her Instagram stories, photos with friends at brunch, office happy hours, weekend trips. I was never in frame. When I asked about it once, she laughed it off. "I'm just private about my relationship," she said. "It's not a big deal." I let it go. Her friends knew about me, but only vaguely. When we ran into her coworker once at a mall, Jacqueline introduced me as my friend. Not boyfriend. Friend. Her family was a different story. I'd met them exactly twice in 2 years. Once at a cousin's engagement where I stood awkwardly in the corner while she networked. Once at a family dinner where her father asked what I did, nodded politely, and never spoke to me again. "They're just traditional," Jacqueline said. "They need time to warm up." 2 years felt like enough time. Every time I brought up the future, meeting her parents properly, talking about moving in together, maybe engagement, she deflected. "Let's not rush things," she'd say. "We're good as we are, right?" The cafe moment changed everything. I'd gone there to work on a pitch deck. The cafe was halfway between my apartment and a client's office, quiet in afternoons, good Wi-Fi. I grabbed my usual corner booth, ordered black coffee, and opened my laptop. 20 minutes later, Jacqueline walked in. She didn't see me. She was laughing with 2 women I recognized from her Instagram, coworkers from her marketing team. They grabbed a table near the window, ordered iced lattes, and settled in. I almost called out. Almost waved. But something stopped me. Then I heard it. "So is it serious with you and him?" one of her friends asked. Jacqueline laughed. Not politely. A real laugh. The kind you give when someone asks something ridiculous. "Him? Oh my God, no. He's not husband material. He's a time pass." The words hit like cold water. "A what?" "A time pass," Jacqueline repeated, stirring her coffee. "You know, someone you date while figuring out what you really want. He's sweet, don't get me wrong, but he's not ambitious. He doesn't have a big career. He's just steady, which is fine for now. But long term? No way." Her friends nodded, sipping their drinks. I sat frozen. Then I opened my phone, tapped voice recorder, set it on the table, and pressed record. I let the recording run for 5 full minutes. Jacqueline kept talking. Her friends kept encouraging her. "So what's your plan?" one asked. "Are you going to break up with him?" "Not yet," Jacqueline said. "I mean, he's useful. He helps me out when I need stuff. And it's nice having someone around. but I'm definitely keeping my options open. My mom keeps introducing me to guys from her network, doctors and engineers. That's more the kind of guy I'd actually marry. Does he know that? Jacqueline shrugged. I don't think he's that serious either. I mean, we've been together 2 years, and he's never even brought up marriage properly. He's probably just coasting too. I almost laughed. 2 months ago, I'd looked at engagement rings online. I'd saved links to 3 different jewelers. I'd planned to bring it up at her birthday next month. Maybe take her somewhere nice, start the conversation about our future. Now I was deleting those bookmarks. Anyway, Jacqueline continued, I'm meeting his family this weekend. My parents are having dinner at their place. I figured I should at least make an effort. Keep things smooth. Wait, she'd told me we were meeting her parents. Not the other way around. Are you nervous? Not really. I'll smile, be polite, eat their food, and then go home. It's not like I'm planning a future with him, so it doesn't really matter. Her friends laughed. I stopped the recording. My hands were steady. I wasn't shaking. I wasn't angry. I was just clear. For the first time in 2 years, I saw the relationship exactly as it was. I closed my laptop, finished my coffee, and walked out. Jacqueline never saw me. When I got home, I plugged my phone into my laptop and backed up the recording to 3 different places. Cloud storage, external hard drive, email draft. Then I sat on my couch and replayed it twice. Her voice was so casual, so certain, like dismissing 2 years of someone's time was just part of the plan. 20 minutes later, my phone buzzed. Jacqueline, coffee at yours tonight? Miss you. I stared at the message for a full minute. Then I replied, sure. Dinner with your parents this weekend, right? Her response came fast. Jacqueline, yes. Saturday at 7. Can't wait for you to meet them properly. My mom's been asking about you. I typed back, looking forward to it. She sent a heart emoji. I locked my phone and opened my calendar. Saturday, 3 days away. The next morning, I called the restaurant she'd mentioned. Nice place, upscale Indian restaurant her parents loved, private dining area for family events. I asked if they had AV equipment for presentations. We have a projector and speakers in the private rooms, the hostess said. Can I bring my own laptop to connect? Of course. We'll have everything set up. Perfect. I confirmed the reservation under Jacqueline's father's name and hung up. Then I opened the audio file on my laptop and tested it through external speakers. Jacqueline's voice came through crystal clear. He's not husband material. He's a time pass. I turned up the volume. He's sweet, don't get me wrong. But he's not ambitious. Perfect. I spent the next 2 days acting normal. Jacqueline came over Thursday night. We watched Netflix, ordered takeout, fell asleep on the couch. She kissed me goodbye in the morning, told me she loved me. I told her I loved her too. Saturday, I'd return the favor. Friday morning, I woke up with complete clarity. I didn't feel sad. I didn't feel angry. I just felt awake. Betrayal works strangely. You think it'll hit you all at once, this overwhelming wave that drowns you. But sometimes it strips away the noise and leaves you with nothing but truth. The truth was simple. Jacqueline had never seen me as a partner. I was a resource. Someone who showed up when she needed help, disappeared when she didn't, stayed just present enough to keep her comfortable. I thought about all the times I'd made excuses for her. When she didn't introduce me as her boyfriend, I told myself she was private. When she didn't post about me, I told myself social media didn't matter. When she dodged conversations about the future, I told myself she was scared of commitment. But she wasn't scared. She was strategic. She kept me at a distance because that's where I belonged in her plan. Close enough to be useful, far enough to be replaceable. I spent Friday cleaning my apartment, answering emails, doing normal things. Jacqueline texted twice, both times cute messages about being excited for tomorrow. I responded normally, sent emojis, kept it light. That night, I tested the audio file one more time. I hooked my laptop to a Bluetooth speaker and listened. He's not husband material. He's a time pass. The sound quality was perfect. Every word, every laugh, every dismissive comment. Crystal clear. I saved the file to a USB drive as backup, labeled it dinner presentation, and packed it in my bag. Saturday morning, I woke early. Showered, shaved, put on a clean button-down and dark jeans. Nothing too formal, nothing too casual. I wanted to look like someone who'd made an effort, someone who respected the occasion. Because I did respect it. This wasn't about revenge. It was about honoring my own dignity. About refusing to be someone's backup plan. At 6:30 p.m., Jacqueline texted. Jacqueline, picking you up in 20. My mom is so excited to see you again. I grabbed my laptop bag, locked my apartment, and waited outside. When she pulled up, she was smiling. Hair done, makeup perfect, wearing a green salwar kameez. You look great, she said when I got in. Thanks. So do you. She leaned over and kissed my cheek, then pulled onto the road. My mom made biryani, she said, excited. And my dad's actually in a good mood today. I think this is going to go really well. I think so too. She reached over and squeezed my hand. I squeezed back. We drove in comfortable silence, her playlist humming through the speakers. She looked relaxed, happy, like this was just another normal evening. When we pulled into the restaurant parking lot, she turned to me. Thank you for doing this, she said softly. I know my family can be a lot sometimes, but it means a lot that you're here. I looked at her. For a moment, I almost reconsidered. Almost thought about letting it go, breaking up quietly later, moving on without a scene. Then I remembered her laughing with her coworkers. He's sweet, don't get me wrong, but he's not ambitious. I'm definitely keeping my options open. It's not like I'm planning a future with him. The moment passed. Of course, I said. Let's go. Update 1. Inside, the hostess led us to the private dining room. Small space, round table set for 5, warm lighting. Jacqueline's parents were already there. Her father, Jonathan, stood when we entered. Tall, graying hair, crisp white shirt. He shook my hand firmly. Good to see you again. Her mother, Julia, smiled warmly. She wore a blue sari and gestured for us to sit. We're so glad you could join us. Jacqueline talks about you all the time. I smiled. I'm happy to be here. We sat. Jacqueline next to me, her parents across, her younger brother Patrick at the end, scrolling on his phone. The hostess brought water, menus, took drink orders. I set my laptop bag on the floor next to my chair. Jacqueline glanced at it. Why'd you bring that? Work presentation, I said quietly. Didn't want to leave it in the car. She nodded and turned back to her mother. The waiter brought appetizers. Samosas, pakoras. Everyone ate, chatted, settled in. 30 minutes into dinner, Julia turned to me. So, Jacqueline tells us you run your own business. That must be exciting. It is. I do financial consulting for startups. Jonathan nodded. Freelance work? Mostly yes. Stable income? Jacqueline stiffened. Dad, it's fine, I said. Yes, it's stable. I've been doing it for 5 years. Good clients, consistent projects. Jonathan nodded, but his expression didn't change. Polite, reserved. Julia jumped in. That's wonderful. And how did you two meet again? Through a mutual friend, Jacqueline said quickly. At a birthday party. 2 years ago, right? Julia asked. Yes. Julia smiled at me. And you've been together ever since. I looked at Jacqueline. She looked back, eyes soft, waiting. I reached down and pulled my laptop out. Actually, I said, setting it on the table. There's something I'd like to share with everyone. Jacqueline's face went pale. What are you doing? I opened the laptop, connected it to the restaurant's Bluetooth speaker. The hostess had set it up perfectly. I thought we could listen to something together, I said calmly. As a family. Jonathan frowned. Listen to what? This is a presentation? Julia looked confused. In a way. Jacqueline grabbed my arm. Stop. Whatever you're doing, stop. Let him finish, Patrick said, looking up from his phone. I want to see what this is. I pressed play. The audio crackled. Then Jacqueline's voice filled the room. Crystal clear. Unmistakable. He's not husband material. He's a time pass. The table went still. Julia's smile dropped. Jonathan straightened. Patrick's eyes went wide. Jacqueline froze. The recording continued. You know, someone you date while figuring out what you really want. He's sweet, don't get me wrong. But he's not ambitious. He doesn't have a big career. He's just steady, which is fine for now. But long term? No way. Julia looked at Jacqueline. Is that you? Jacqueline's mouth opened. Closed. I can explain. That's not, it's out of context. The recording kept playing. I'm definitely keeping my options open. My mom keeps introducing me to guys from her network, doctors and engineers. That's more the kind of guy I'd actually marry. Jonathan's face hardened. Does he know that? I don't think he's that serious either. We've been together 2 years, and he's never even brought up marriage properly. I paused the audio. The silence was suffocating. Julia stared at her daughter, eyes wide. Jonathan's jaw was clenched. Patrick leaned back, eyebrows raised. Jacqueline, Julia said, voice shaking. What is this? It's a misunderstanding, Jacqueline said quickly. My friends were asking stupid questions, and I said things I didn't mean. You sounded pretty clear, Patrick muttered. Shut up, Patrick. Jonathan held up a hand. Enough. He looked at me. When was this recorded? 3 days ago. Wednesday afternoon. At a cafe downtown. She didn't know I was there. So you recorded her without her knowing? Jacqueline grasped. That's illegal. India is a one-party consent country, I said calmly. I was present. I knew. It's legal. Jonathan nodded slowly. He's right. Jacqueline turned to her mother, desperate. Mom, please. This isn't what it looks like. Julia's face was pale. You called him a time pass. I didn't mean it. For 5 minutes? I asked. She glared at me. You set me up. I sat in a cafe. You walked in and started talking. There's more, Patrick said. You paused it. I looked at Jacqueline. Do you want me to play the rest? Her face went white. No. Then tell them what you said about this dinner. She didn't answer. I pressed play. Anyway, I'm meeting his family this weekend. My parents are having dinner at their place. I figured I should at least make an effort. Keep things smooth. Julia frowned. Wait. She said your family. But this is us. She lied to her friends, I said. Told them we were meeting my family. The recording continued. Are you nervous? Not really. I'll smile, be polite, eat their food, and then go home. It's not like I'm planning a future with him, so it doesn't really matter. I stopped the audio. Julia's hand covered her mouth. Jonathan closed his eyes. It doesn't matter, Julia repeated, barely a whisper. Meeting us doesn't matter? Mom, answer her, Jonathan said, voice hard. Jacqueline looked at him, then her mother, then me. Tears filled her eyes. I didn't mean it like that. Then how did you mean it? Jonathan asked. She didn't answer. Julia set her napkin down, hands trembling. Jacqueline, we've been talking about this boy for months. You told us you were serious. He is important, Jacqueline said weakly. But not husband material, Patrick said flatly. Stay out of this. I'm at the table. How can I? Julia looked at me, eyes apologetic. I'm so sorry. You don't have to apologize, I said. You didn't do anything wrong. Julia looked at Jacqueline, and something shifted in her expression. The warmth was gone. So who's your real husband material? Julia asked. The question hung in the air. Jacqueline stared at her mother, mouth open. You said he's not husband material, Julia continued, voice steady now. So tell me, who is? I'm not planning anything with anyone. But you're keeping your options open. Isn't that what you said? Jacqueline didn't respond. Jonathan leaned forward. Answer your mother. I don't know, Jacqueline whispered. You don't know who you want to marry, but you know it's not him, Jonathan said. Is that correct? Her tears spilled over. Dad, please. Answer the question. She looked at me, face crumbling. I'm sorry. I didn't say anything. I don't know what I want. But I didn't want to hurt him. You just wanted to use him, Patrick said. I wasn't using him. Then what do you call it? He helps you move, drives you around, shows up to family events, and you tell your friends he's a time pass. What is that? Jacqueline didn't answer. Julia stood slowly, chair scraping. I need some air. She walked out without looking back. Jonathan watched her go, then turned to me. I'm sorry you had to do this. I'm sorry I had to as well. He nodded. For what it's worth, I think you handled it with dignity. Thank you. He stood and followed his wife out. Patrick looked at Jacqueline, then me. That was brutal, but honestly, she deserved it. He stood, gave me a small nod, and left. Just me and Jacqueline. She was crying fully now, mascara running. She looked at me, and I saw something new. Shame. I didn't want it to be like this, she whispered. Neither did I. I closed my laptop, put it in my bag, and stood. Wait. Where are you going? Home. Can we talk about this? Please. What's left to talk about? I made a mistake. I said things I shouldn't have. You meant them. That's the difference. She looked down at her hands. I walked to the door, then stopped. For the record, I said, not turning around. I was going to propose next month. I had the ring picked out. I heard her breath catch. Guess I dodged a bullet. Then I walked out. Update 2. I took an Uber home. My phone started buzzing before I reached my apartment. Jacqueline, please call me. Jacqueline, I know you're angry, but we need to talk. Jacqueline, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I blocked her number. When I got home, I sat on the couch and stared at the wall. I'd loved her, but the person I loved didn't exist. She was a performance, carefully curated to keep me invested without ever committing. My phone buzzed. Different number. Unknown. This is Julia. I just wanted to say I'm sorry. What she did was wrong. You deserved better. Me. Thank you. I appreciate that. Julia, if you ever need anything, please reach out. You're a good man. I locked my phone. 10 minutes later, it buzzed again. Patrick, dude. That was insane. My sister is losing it, but honestly, you're a legend. Me. Thanks. Patrick, if you ever want to grab a drink, I'm down. I almost smiled. I put my phone on silent and went to bed. The next morning, I woke to 37 notifications. Most were from unknown numbers. Friends of Jacqueline, people I'd met once at parties. Unknown. Hey, I heard what happened. That took guts. Unknown. Jacqueline's been talking shit about you for months. You deserve to know. One message stood out. Unknown. This is Rebecca. I was one of the girls at the cafe. I'm sorry we didn't say anything. For what it's worth, she's been saying stuff like that about you since you started dating. It wasn't just that one time. I read it twice. Since we started dating. 2 years. My phone buzzed again. Jacqueline, from a new number. I know you blocked me. Please hear me out. I didn't mean any of it. I was trying to look cool in front of my friends. Please. I love you. I blocked that number too. Over the next 2 days, she tried everything. Called from her office phone. Blocked. Emailed me. I filtered her to trash. Showed up at my apartment Monday evening. I saw her through the lobby window and didn't go down. She waited an hour, then left. Tuesday morning, Patrick messaged. Patrick, she's spiraling. Parents are pissed. Mom hasn't talked to her since dinner. Dad's making her see a therapist. Me. Thanks for the update. Patrick, you doing okay? Me. Yeah, I'm good. And I was. Wednesday, I got a message from Deborah, one of the cafe girls. Deborah, I wanted to apologize. I was there when Jacqueline said all that. I should have told her to stop. Me. It's not your fault. Deborah, for the record, she's been lying to everyone. She told us you were just casual. She never mentioned you wanted to propose. She made it sound like you were both just hanging out. Me. That's good to know. Deborah. Also, she's calling everyone trying to control the narrative. Saying you humiliated her, that you recorded her illegally. Just a heads up. I screenshot the message and saved it. Thursday evening, my phone rang. Unknown number. Hello. Is this him? A woman's voice, older, formal. Who's asking? This is Jacqueline's aunt. I wanted to call and say what you did was absolutely right. She's been coddled her whole life. It's about time someone held her accountable. I blinked. Thank you. Her mother is devastated. But devastated that her daughter could behave this way, not devastated at you. You did the right thing. I appreciate that. Good luck. You seem decent. Don't let this sour you on relationships. She hung up. I set my phone down and laughed. Actually laughed. I'd just blown up a 2-year relationship with a single audio file. And everyone except Jacqueline thought I was in the right. Update 3. By Friday, Jacqueline shifted strategies. If she couldn't reach me, she'd control the story publicly. She posted on Instagram. Vague, emotional. Sometimes the people you trust most turn out to be the most toxic. Healing from betrayal and moving forward. 73 likes in the first hour. Then Rebecca commented. Rebecca, girl. Stop. Everyone knows what you did. The likes stopped. Deborah commented next. Deborah, you called him a time pass in front of us. He recorded it. You got exposed. Own it. Jacqueline deleted both comments. Then deleted the post. 20 minutes later, she posted again. Longer this time. I made mistakes. I said things I shouldn't have. But recording someone without their knowledge and humiliating them in front of their family is abuse. I'm not perfect, but I didn't deserve this. I screenshot it. Then I sent the screenshot and the audio file to 3 mutual friends. Within an hour, the post was flooded. You told your friends he wasn't husband material for 2 years. That's not a mistake. That's a pattern. He recorded you in a public cafe. That's legal. You humiliated yourself. Accountability isn't abuse. She turned off comments. Made her account private. Saturday morning, Jonathan called. I wanted to update you. Jacqueline's been trying to spin this at her office. Saying you're obsessed, that you're harassing her. Thanks for the heads up. Her manager called me. Wanted to verify the story. I told him the truth. Sent him the recording. He's not happy with her. Will she lose her job? Not fired. But HR is involved. She filed a complaint against you, claiming harassment. When they heard the recording, they realized she lied. She's on warning now. One more incident, and she's out. Jesus. She did this to herself, Jonathan said, tired. Julia and I are cutting her off financially for 6 months. She needs to learn actions have consequences. I'm sorry it came to this. Don't be. You did us a favor. He hung up. I sat on my couch, processing how fast everything spiraled. In 1 week, Jacqueline had lost her boyfriend, her family's trust, been put on warning at work, been cut off financially, and failed to smear me publicly. And I hadn't done anything except play a recording. Sunday afternoon, unknown number. Unknown. This is Jacqueline's cousin, Olivia. Just wanted to say thank you. She's been lying to the family for years. You're not the first guy she's done this to. My brother dated her best friend in college, and Jacqueline told her to dump him because he wasn't rich enough. She's always been like this. You just caught her on tape. Me? I had no idea. Olivia, no one does. She's good at hiding it. But the family knows now. We're all supporting you. That evening, I went for a walk. Clear night, cool air. I thought about the last 2 years, about all the moments I'd ignored. I'd wanted to believe Jacqueline loved me. But love doesn't keep you as a backup plan. Love doesn't dismiss you in front of friends. Love doesn't measure you against imaginary standards while pretending to build a future. I'd been convenient. That's all. When I got back, one final message from Jacqueline, from another new number. Jacqueline, I know you hate me. I know I ruined everything. But I need you to know I did love you. I just didn't know how to show it. I'm sorry I wasn't enough. I read it twice. Then I blocked the number and deleted the message. Because she had it backwards. She wasn't enough. I was. 3 weeks after the dinner, I sold the engagement ring I'd never given her. I'd kept it hidden in my desk drawer, boxed in velvet, waiting for the right moment. Now it felt like evidence of a future that never existed. I took it to a jeweler downtown. He inspected it, quoted me a price. I accepted without negotiating. Beautiful ring, he said. I'm sorry it didn't work out. I'm not, I said. And I meant it. With the money, I booked a flight to Goa. 1 week, solo trip, beachside hotel. I'd never traveled alone before. Jacqueline always wanted to plan trips together, always had opinions. This time, I planned nothing. I just went. Goa was quiet in the off-season. I spent days walking beaches, reading books I'd been meaning to finish, eating at small shacks where no one knew me. At night, I sat on my hotel balcony, listening to waves, and thought about the last 2 years. I'd given Jacqueline everything. My time, my energy, my loyalty. She'd taken it all while keeping 1 foot out the door, just in case something better came along. But the something better never existed. Relationships aren't about finding someone who checks every box on an imaginary list. They're about finding someone who sees you and chooses you. Not as a placeholder, not as a time pass, but as a person worth building a life with. Jacqueline never saw me that way. And sitting alone in Goa, watching the ocean, I realized something. I didn't need her to. On my last day, Patrick messaged. Patrick, Jacqueline moved out. Got her own place. She's seeing a therapist. Mom's still not talking to her much. Me? Good for her. Patrick, you're really over it, huh? Me, yeah, I am. And I was. I flew back to Mumbai Sunday. My apartment felt different. Lighter. Like something heavy had been lifted. I threw out the last of Jacqueline's things. Toothbrush, hoodie, box of tea. All in the trash. Then I called Brian, a friend I hadn't spoken to in months. We'd lost touch when I started dating Jacqueline because she didn't like him. She thought he was immature. Dude, Brian said. I heard what happened. Are you okay? I'm good. Want to grab a drink this week? Hell yeah. We met Thursday. He brought 2 other guys I hadn't seen in over a year. We drank beer, ate kebabs, talked about work, sports, random things that didn't matter. No one mentioned Jacqueline. And for the first time in weeks, I felt like myself. 6 months later, I ran into Julia at a grocery store. She saw me first, walking over with a small smile. How are you? I'm good. Really good. I'm glad. You deserve to be. She hesitated. Jacqueline's doing better. She's working on herself. But she's not the same. I think losing you changed her. I nodded. I hope she figures it out. Julia smiled sadly. You're kind. I'm sorry she didn't see that sooner. It's okay, I said. I see it now. And I did. I wasn't a time pass. I wasn't a backup plan. I wasn't someone who needed to prove my worth by chasing people who didn't value me. I was enough. Always had been. I just needed to believe it. As I walked out, bags in hand, phone buzzing with messages from friends making weekend plans, I realized something. Jacqueline's betrayal hadn't broken me. It had freed me. And that was the best revenge of all.